Another issue that can no longer be ignored is our district's bullying problem. Bullying has been a decades-long issue in Morton, a blemish on our town's record that has just been swept under the rug for far too long. But ignoring the problem has only left a trail of damaged, traumatized children and adults in its wake. It's time to say no more. So, how do we fix a deeply ingrained, decades-old issue? I'm going to be honest. I don't have all the answers. This is an incredibly complex problem with countless variables, and addressing it is probably going to require a multi-pronged approach. However, I believe that providing students and families with a way to anonymously report bullying incidents without fear of retaliation is a crucial first step. And currently, that simply doesn't exist. I have stacks of documents from families in our district detailing their experiences after reporting bullying incidents to the administration. To say the response was lackluster would be a huge understatement. In most cases, no meaningful intervention took place. Worse, the lack of action often led to intensified bullying, causing many students to beg their parents, please just stop reporting it. They don't care, and it's just making things worse. After one parent reported to the administration their child was subject to racial slurs, the administration's response? Maybe you should just find a new school to move to. That's unacceptable. We cannot hope to effectively address the bullying problem until we have an accurate understanding of its scope. And we cannot hope for accurate reporting until dismissive responses and retaliation come to an end. I am hopeful that implementing the Say Something anonymous reporting system will be a game changer in this area. When it comes to other necessary programs, I wanted to walk you through my research process to give you some insight into how I approach problems. As a scientist, I believe in the scientific method. That means going into the research without a predetermined conclusion. In other words, I don't start by trying to justify the solution I already want. I start with an open mind, and I allow the data to lead me to the best course of action. So my research began by looking at studies on different anti-bullying programs. And there are a lot. So, spoiler alert, I'm still not done, because carefully sifting through this data takes time. Thankfully, some resources have made the process easier. Blueprints for Healthy Youth Development website evaluates programs and classifies them into several different categories. We have promising, which meets the minimum standards of effectiveness. We have model, which meets higher standards, demonstrating strong behavioral change outcomes. And then we have Model Plus. This meets all the model criteria, but has also been independently replicated. In other words, the best ones. I also have been using crimesolutions.gov, which has a very similar rating system, as well as the Children's Safety Network, which has an exhaustive list of recommended programs. Many anti-bullying programs focus on social-emotional learning interventions, which our district is starting to implement at the younger grade levels. A positive step. So I specifically looked at programs targeted at older students, focusing on bullying response and discipline. From what I've observed, the district primarily uses two responses to bullying. One, invalidation. Well, I talked to student A, and he said he didn't do that, so we're not going to do anything about your complaint. And then two, exclusionary discipline. So this is detentions, suspensions, things you typically think of as discipline. Now, multiple studies have actually shown that exclusionary discipline causes harm and does not effectively change behavior. So instead, I am interested in restorative justice approaches, which focus on empathy building rather than punishment. So for example, one model focuses on face-to-face discussions, where the victim explains how the bullying is affecting them and forces the bully to recognize the victim as a real person. This method can reduce future bullying incidents. So there are literally hundreds of programs to review, and I am still sifting through them. But so far, these are the ones that seem to be the most promising. But it's very much a work in progress. Additionally, I've been in contact with several of the surrounding school districts to learn about their anti-bullying programs and the outcomes that they have seen. So stay tuned, more updates to come. Recognizing just how complex any sort of program choice and implementation would be, especially as I reflected on my own knowledge gaps in relation to how the school runs from a logistics standpoint, Another idea that I've proposed to our school administration is to form an anti-bullying committee. This committee would have representatives with multiple different areas of expertise, including administration, teachers, counselors, special education experts, pediatricians, parent representatives, and even student representatives. By bringing together these diverse perspectives, we can troubleshoot any new issues before implementing programs. So, that's where I currently am in trying to address Morton 709's bullying issues. I firmly believe the best ideas come from collaboration. So I welcome input and suggestions from community members. I'm energized by new ideas. So if you have thoughts, experiences, ideas, please do not hesitate to reach out.